And he says he was introduced to some of his homeboys. There were several of them there. Some he had met when he was still quartered in the rural areas. But subsequently, he became a policeman. He came to Joburg. He lost touch with them. And his evidence is that as a result, Guabini had to remind him, this is Ratha, this is Mnisi, this is Baloi, this is Buthelezi. And he's excoriated for undertaking that trip, that memory trip with Guabini. I don't find it startling to be reintroduced to a person I last saw 10 years back. Some of them he remembered their names, some of them he did not. It's critical and material for the evidence, as it will show later, maybe when other evidence is being led, is that he says at that confabulation he met or saw accused number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5. Saw them and met them and engaged them and spoke to them. And even went to buy alcohol with them at Tops's bottle store.
Lapho futhi inkosi enkantolo ukhuluma ngobunye kofakazi bakaMzungu athena ke wakho
View. That is material evidence, critical evidence.
ithi ke inkosi
Because,
enkantolo
okay.
ithi ke inkosi enkantolo ngokubona kwayo ke ubufakazi lokho obukhethekile futhi ubufakazi obuhambisanayo ngoba izopha izathu zakhe ukuthi kungani isho njalo.
Because it relates to living live human beings. It's not relating to a car or a bicycle. Zungu says he was together with accused 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And there was also the other gentleman who's also Mkaya, a colleague of theirs, who comes from Natal, I think, Makosonke, something like that, if I'm not mistaken. And also, he says, he was entertained by Guabini. At some stage, he says, accused number 4 came to request him to move his car, or somebody through the aegis of accused number 4 wanted Zungu to remove his car because somebody was intending to drive out of the hostel. He says it, and subsequently, he also met accused number 4. Grandfather used to do the same. He's a Zulu. Yabonga, thank you. And he says he gave him the key. That's how close he was. Thank you for removing the car for me, and here is your key. He also says,
ithi ke futhi inkosi enkantolo khona ke omunye umkhaya wabo noma mhlawumbe umuntu kade uqhamuka nayo lapho ke ekhaya kwindawo yaseKZN manje ngaphansi kwesifundazwe saseKZN kwaZulu Natal ke bamenza uthi igama lakhe kumakhosonke umuntu okhona after athi naye futhi kade akhona ke lapho ke noma ngaphakathi kwele ndawo sebasuthwini hostel ngesikhathi abahlanganele lapho ke noMnumzana uZungu futhi noMnumzana kokuGwabeni ke lapho bathi khona ke isikhathi la kade umsola ke bathi ke pha kumuntu kade lapho ke entertain abantu mhlambe kade ekhulumisana nabantu kade kuGwabeni.
And further, Zungu says, at some stage, because there was no alcohol, Jameson was finished. The guys were drinking like fish. They went to go and buy alcohol.
Bathi futhi uZungu khona ke inkulumo owayekuthi ke utshwala kade bophelile lapha yana ngoba ke kade ke abafowethu bephuza njengeinhlanzi lapho ke beqeda ke Jameson yabo bathi uZungu wathi nabahamba nothenga khona ke utshwala noma kunesikhathi nahamba ngaso nothenga utshwala.
And they partook of that alcohol. And there's a piece of evidence, I don't think it's that important, but it is there. That accused number 4 bought some alcohol on that day of the 26th of June 2014, on the same day.
Bathi khona kufakazi labo kwebo obakhulunywa khona ke kepha ke la ngaphambi kwesenkantolo akhe inkosi enkantolo ecanga ukuthi kubaleke kakhulu lokho ke bathi khona udaba lokuthi umsola wesine ke uyena ke wathenga ke utshwala ngalo ke langa lela le 26.
Is that corroboration or not? Because Zungu says, I drank bottle upside down. We went to go buy some more liquor. Accused number 4 was with us in that red car or white car. He concedes. He says, I'm not sure. It could have been red, it could have been white. But it's a small car. Unlike a witness who comes to court and says we were there in a Rover 4x4. He said we went there in a small car. When it was pointed out to him that actually that car is in one of the photos and it is red. Then he says, if it's so, it's possible. He did not particularly take care of the colors. At that time, the exigency was, we were just enjoying ourselves.
Bathi khona ngabathi manje ngabe akwahambisani yini udaba lwenkulumo eyakhulunywa lapho ko Constable Zungu.
And Zungu also says, because this man, he had his service pistol in his possession and it was drinking spree, he had to safeguard it. He requested Guabini to safeguard it for him, and apparently he put it in his bedroom or in a cupboard. And then he also gave him over the keys of his car.
Bathi futhi uZungu kufakazi bakho ukuthi yena kade aphethe isibhamu sakhe sasemsebenzini kepha ngoba kade ehlezi lapho ke nabafowethu ephuza nabo ke wacela kuGwabeni thizeni kamsiza amgcinele ke isibhamu sakhe sokusebenza noma isibhamu sakhe silapha emsebenzini uthi uGwabeni akazi ukuthi mhlawumbe asibeka ngaphansi kombhedo uma afaka ngaphakathi lapho ke kwadrop kepha ke ufuthi wabuya wamnikeza lapho ke ikhiya zemoto zakhe ukuthi nazo ugcinele zona.
And part of his evidence, Zungu, he says at some stage, accused number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, they vanished. And he says he became aware that they vanished. When they returned en masse, they vanished, all of them. And when they came back, they returned as a group which had vanished. So there's nothing controversial or startling about that.
Bathi futhi uZungu khona ke udaba lobufakazi bakhe obukhuluma ukuthi ke umsola oqala umsola wesibili umsola wesine ke kunala khona selibe hamba khona mhlawumbe banyamalala khona ke athi naloko akaza aqaphe ngesikhathi sakhe nyamalala ngaso noma ngesikhathi enahamba ngaso ke kepha wathi waniqapha ngesikhathi lesibe sele nebuya ngaso ke ngoba nafika nehamba njengethimba noma njengeqembu uma sele nebuya la kade niye khona.
And Zungu says accused number 1, 2, 3, those were the initial persons who returned, walking together, and they got into Guabini's room.
Bathi futhi uConstable Zungu wakhuluma ukuthi ke umsola oqala nomsola wesibili nomsola wesithathu yibona abafika qala ke laphayana futhi ngesikhathi befika bade behamba bonkana noma kade besele emuva bese bahamba baye ngaphakathi kwegumbi la kaGwabini.
And he says, after some time, an appreciable time, accused number 4 and 5 followed, and they also went into Guabini's room.
Welcome to the fire where the stakes ignite, where the questions burn hotter than the night. No escape once you're locked in the heat. This is your trial on the hot seat. Welcome to the fire where the stakes ignite, where the questions burn hotter than the night. No escape once you're locked in the heat. This is your trial on the hot seat. Ticking clocks and a sweat-soaked scene. Can you The sparks fly